Spring has actually sprung finally here on the island, and I'm delighted to be able to go out and about and explore the city. I'm going to be taking out the Emma 2.0. This was sent to me by Roll Road, and I'm loving this. I'm also quite tickled by it because one of my good buddies here, Eric, has been riding it around. He loves it too. I think this is kind of like that bridge gap between moped and e-bike. So if you get something like this and your battery dies, you can pedal at home, but you're probably gonna ride it around kind of like a moped. And that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna ride around the city, just experience it, remind and refresh my brain. I'm gonna share with you what I like and what I don't like about the Emma 2.0. And at the very end, I'm gonna show you what's inside this box.
So as I mentioned, it's absolutely stunning and beautiful here in Victoria in the springtime. And I wanted to share with you, as I ride around Victoria, just some of the beauty of Victoria, but also what this type of e-bike is going to be useful for and who's it actually for. And I think that's really important these days, is to work out what type of electric bike should you be getting. And the Emma has some amazing characteristics that make it super, super useful. The range on this thing could be really quite extraordinary because it has a massive battery. It's got a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery, and that works out to 960 watt hours. So range isn't going to be an issue. But as I mentioned earlier, it's that sort of blended sort of combination of being a moped and an e-bike. So if you do get stuck, you can pedal. But I found myself on this particular trip, I didn't actually pedal at all. However, if you chose to actually pedal, it has a torque sensor built in, which is different because most of the e-bikes out there are using cadence sensors. But the Emma 2.0 has that torque sensor feature, which means it's actually sensing your input. So if you put more effort into the pedals, the bike will actually give you more power. And if you just ease off a little bit, then of course it will just ease off, which makes it absolutely delightful when you do have to pedal. One of the really powerful things about the Emma 2.0 is the actual payload. It's got a 450-pound payload capacity, which means that if you're a big guy or a big girl and you want to ride around an e-bike and you want to feel safe and secure, this thing can cover you. If you're also a big person and you're riding around, maybe going grocery shopping, or you want to stick somebody on the back of it, you can do that. 450 pounds is a massive weight. About 100 plus pounds more than any other e-bike I've seen. So 450 pound weight capacity, I think that's pretty special. Now the battery is of course connected to the motor, and the motor on this is that 1000 watt Bafang pseudo motor, and that has absolutely no issues going up the hills. When it does need a peak power, that is when it pushes it at maximum power, it actually peaks out at 1800 watts, which again, that just makes it feel super awesome going up the hills. You can tell here that I'm riding up and down some of these hills without any issue at all. And as I said earlier, I didn't pedal once in this entire ride. Now, one of the other things I want to mention as I'm talking about power and I'm talking about the motor and I'm talking about the battery size is that these batteries are UL certified 21700. So these are Class A EVE cells. So, if you live in a part of the world, like I've noticed recently in New York City, they're now passing laws, and other places are too. And I think it's probably very wise. If you're going to be buying an e-bike, especially an e-bike like this, good quality e-bike, you want to know that the cells are certified and they're safe. And that's what the certification is all about. So if you are looking to buy an e-bike, make sure it's certified 21700. It's going to give you that peace of mind. And also, it might actually become legal or one of the requirements for where you live at some point in the near future. So as a big guy, I'm also really interested in the ride quality. And this e-bike has a full suspension. It's got two 330 millimeter rear nitrogen air shocks as well. And that just makes it so smooth when you hit in the bumps. When I go off the curb edge, when I'm hitting some of the bigger bumps, when I'm going a little off-roading with it, this suspension is absolutely delightful. Most e-bikes come with single crown spring forks, but the Roll Road here, it has double crown motorcycle level hydraulic front forks, and it's equipped so that you don't have to worry about the bumps. It's also, you can adjust it, you can make it soft adjustment or hard adjustment, depending on how you like your ride. And equally as important, the brakes. Now, most e-bikes that I ride around on and test have 2 piston calipers and are usually 160 millimeter rotors. But the EMA 2.0 has 4 piston hydraulic brakes and 180 millimeter rotors. That's going to allow you to come to a stop really, really quickly. No matter how big you are, you want good brakes. And EMA 2.0 has fantastic brakes, and they're hydraulic, which, oh, I love that. It means when you apply the brakes, it stops really quickly. One of the other things I really enjoy about riding around on the EMA 2.0 is that on long rides, you know, when you're riding along and just chilling and you don't need to be there in any kind of hurry, I love being able to just set the cruise control. So it comes with cruise control. And as I said earlier, it's super comfortable. The saddle, it's 18 inches, plenty of room for a big guy. And with the basket behind the back of me, I know I can put loads of groceries back there. And you know, and it's such a nice way to get around town. Especially, I was noticing today, the price of gas where we live is getting so expensive. I mean, it's $1.95 a liter today. And it's only going to get higher and higher as the summer months come up. So any chance I can get now to not use the car, not use gas, and hop on an e-bike and use electricity is making a huge difference, saving me money. And I think a lot more people are going to be riding e-bikes because of that. And it's this type of e-bike that I think is going to make a huge difference, because you don't just get around town with it. You can get around town and bring loads of groceries, something along, or, you know, grab a child from school, or, well, you tell me, what else do you use your e-bikes for? Also, with the safety side of things, the headlight on the EMA 2.0 is amazingly bright. Again, like over the top bright. It's 1200 lumens, which you can see even during the daytime, but at night, it just lights up the sidewalk. No problem whatsoever. It's got integrated brake lights, so when you do press the brakes, the brake light at the back of the bike lights up, and it has LED turn signals as well. So if you live somewhere where that's important, that's really cool. I still use my hands, but at nighttime, having the LED turn signals turn on, that looks absolutely lovely. And it just shares with the rest of the world what your intentions are. Also at night, the display shows up beautifully, but you can read it during the daytime too. It's that 5.3 inch LED display, full color. And if you look at the bottom, it even has a little USB plug, so you can power your phone while you're on the go. The EMA 2.0 does have a 7-speed Shimano gear system, so if you are hitting the trails or if you're going up and down some hills and you want to add a little bit of your own pedal to it, that Shimano derailleur is just lovely and smooth, and it's really easy to see what gear you're in. Coupled with the tires, they're the Kenda 20x4 inch, and they've got that reflective strip. So if you're riding around at night again, that reflective strip is really going to show up and identify that you're riding around at nighttime, and the cars will be able to see you a little bit more easily. So as I said at the beginning, I wanted to share with you, who is the EMA 2.0 for and who is it not for? Well, let's start off with who it's not for. If you live in an apartment building and you don't have an elevator, and you want to have to carry up an e-bike up and down a bunch of stairs, then this is probably not going to be a good fit for you, because this bike weighs a lot. It's 93 pounds. It's probably not going to be a good fit for you if you're a very light, small person. And the only reason for that is because it is such a heavy-duty e-bike, you need to have a little bit of strength to be able to maneuver it in tight areas. When you're locking it up outside a grocery store and you need to move it around a little bit, it can be a little bit unwieldy. So I've told you who the EMA 2.0 is not for, but who is it for? Well, I think it's going to be a number of people out there. People like myself, like bigger people that just want to be safe. They, maybe they've got some hills, maybe they've got a long commute and they just want to be safe. They don't want to pedal a whole lot. Then the EMA 2.0 is going to be absolutely perfect. Maybe you've got somebody you need to get to school in the morning and you want to put them on the back. Well, hey, you know what? That's awesome. Maybe you have some groceries you want to get on a regular basis. Perfect. I had a couple of guys helping me today with the filming. Michael, of course, he's quite often the cameraman, and Eric was actually helping me out. And in fact, it's Eric that's absolutely fallen in love with the Emma 2.0. Now, he has a garage, so he can just ride in, plug it in, charge it up, and take off and ride it off, go do some grocery shopping, take it into town. Absolutely loves it. He loves the weight, he loves the power, he loves the range, and he loves how convenient and easy it is to get around town. Hope you've really enjoyed watching me ride around beautiful Victoria on a beautiful spring day, enjoying the cherry blossoms. The Emma 2.0, a moped-style e-bike, it's one of the best I've ever tried. It is absolutely 100% big guy approved. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about it, you can watch this video here. This video is where I did a full review of it. And
so the suspense has been killing you. I know what's inside the box. Have you already guessed? Probably. It's a massive 24-inch seat. So what I could do is I could replace this seat with this seat, and it fits perfectly. I haven't done that because what I find is this huge basket at the back is a little bit more useful, but you might find for yourself that that's a better option. So check that out when you're ordering. And if you are interested in ordering Emma 2.0, I'll put a link down below and it might save you a couple of bucks.